Jumapili hii kwenye runinga ya KBC, ungana naye Askofu Michael Wanderi wa kanisa la Christian Foundation Fellowship Kiambu kuanzia saa 1 hadi saa 2 asubuhi.
Ningetaka nikwambie, our Jehovah God, because the Bible says he is the same yesterday, today and forevermore. He is able to take you to a place of abundance. He is able to take you to Rehoboth in the name of Jesus Christ.
Kipindi ni neno la neema, ukiletewa naye Askofu Michael Wanderi wa kanisa la Christian Foundation Fellowship Kiambu. Usikose.
My trust is in you.
Enda pale kwa Palume. Wakenya. Kari ndio hii. No, sorry, kifungu ndio hii kari. Ni furaha ile niko nayo. Msichali kete. Wacha tupeane mali ya wenyewe.
Ni vizuri tupe watu vitu zao.
Uchukue mali yako. Kuja uchukue mali yako. Hiyo ndio shamra.
Hiyo ndio shamra ya quick bid.
Umeona? Umeamini?
Nimeamini kabisa.
Hii inaitwa nini?
Hii inaitwa kifungu.
Na hii inaitwa nini?
Toyota Probo.
Toyota Probo. Mpatie kifungu hiyo.
Shika ingine. Ndio ya kuendesha. Onesha.
Ndio.
Na wewe unaitwa nani?
Naitwa Steven.
Steven nani?
Kahuho.
Nakwambia. Uliwekelea bid ya ngapi brother?
1772 peke yake.
We. Na ndio amejishindia Pro Box. Sasa hii Pro Box inakusaidia aje?
Itakuwa inanisaidia kazi yangu ya kuuza matunda.
Unaambia je watu wako nyumbani ambao watakuona na hii?
Wote wacheze na quick bid. Ukweli.
Ni ukweli.
Kabisa.
Sasa tufanyie vizuri. Ingia upate mizigo yako bana. Ingia utoshee ukae usikie. Inakutosha sawa? Sisi tulikwambia ni aje? Bidhaa bora kwa bei ya chini. Bidhaa bora kwenye bei ya chini.
Jiunga na Quick Bid ni rahisi. Enda kwenye M-Pesa, bonyeza paybill kisha weka business number 4032353. Kwenye account weka kodi ya bidhaa unayotaka na bid yako ya chini zaidi. Kwa mfano TV 16, kisha weka shilingi 20 tu kama idadi yako. Weka bid yako pia kwenye www.quickbid.co.ke. Kumbuka, bid ya chini zaidi ya kipekee ndio ununua. Quick Bid, bidhaa bora kwa bei ya chini.
Tunakupa burudani.
Na umbea, yani stories zinazo trend kwenye mitandao ya kijamii.
See baby now we are two in one. We are two in one.
Interview kali za wasanii wapendao.
Mguu pande panda milima. Aoye izungushie hapo ma. Kama una
ndani ya March of Live kupitia KBC Channel 1 na Pwani FM.
Kuanzia mida ya saa 3 mpaka mida ya 5 kamili asubuhi. Ukiwa nami nite Ken 1GB.
Mimi ni Marco. Keep it locked.
A very good evening. Thank you for keeping us company. I know for sports persons there, especially soccer lovers, you're really waiting for the second half of that particular game that you've been watching. Libya versus Congo there on a 1-1 draw. Will it be Libya or Congo? Well, in not too long, we shall soon find out. I'm Regina Manyara. Now let us look at those stories that have been making headlines in as far as local news as well as regional and international matters are concerned. Glad to have you on board. You're watching Channel 1 News Hour. My colleague on sign language is none other than Madam Lucy Moura. Thank you for your company, and we remind you that this is a live broadcast, and you welcome your feedback. Now, first and foremost, let's look at those headlines. Tiati MP William Kamket released on free bond after interrogation over his alleged involvement in banditry attacks in Kapedo. The Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission calling on Kenyans who signed in support of the Building Bridges initiative to verify their details. And the government says the locust invasion might be worse in the next few weeks after large swarms from Ethiopia and Somalia were spotted in Kenya. Well, if you're tuning in, this is KBC Channel 1 News Hour, and I'm Regina Manyara. Now, TRT Member of Parliament William Kamket was on Thursday released on a free bond after he was arrested by detectives from the Directorate of Criminal Investigations over allegations of banditry attacks in Kapedo. Kamket was grilled for about 3 hours before he was set free. He will be arraigned in court on Tuesday next week.
Tiati Member of Parliament William Kamket was on Thursday the guest of the state for almost 3 hours at Kileleshwa Police Station. Detectives from the Directorate of Criminal Investigations had pounced on the lawmaker in connection with the banditry attacks in Kapedo that left one senior security officer dead. Lawyers Cliff Ombeta and Evans Orienjo, who represented the legislator, claimed the arrest was based on the happenings of 6 years ago, accusing the police on the manner it was executed.
It is something that happened in Kapedo, in his constituency somewhere there, and it is something that happened about 6 years ago. It is an issue that they're talking about a murder, but I can tell you for a fact that Mheshimiwa does not know anything about that. He's not aware of anything. In fact, he seemed to be so totally amazed that they would ask him such questions. And while the investigations is going on, I cannot reveal what the investigations are going to be about. But Mheshimiwa can categorically tell you, and we are telling you categorically as well, that he is not aware of anything or those claims or those incidents or reports.
The arrest comes barely a day after 6 bodies were discovered dumped in Arabal area in Baringo County, about 100 kilometers from the scene of the attack. The Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commissioners claimed that among the 6 was one of its staff member based in the constituency. IEBC says Brian Silale, who was the Commission's constituency administrative assistant, was among those found dead after he was lastly seen in a company of unknown persons. The electoral body calling on authorities to undertake thorough investigation in the killings. The killing of the security officer triggered a massive operation by security forces in the area. Timothy Kipnoso for Channel 1 News.
Now, away from matters securities, and nurses have vowed to continue with their nationwide strike for as long as it takes until their demands are addressed. Through their union, the nurses say the return to work formula must be signed at the nationwide level and have threatened demonstrations commencing Monday to pressurize the Council of Governors to listen to their pleas.
Nurses have now threatened to take to demonstration beginning Monday should the Council of Governors fail to listen to their pleas. The health workers who have been on strike for 11 weeks say no amount of intimidation will cow them to submission.
The strike is now relaunched and regional demonstration to begin on Monday. That from Monday, the Kenya National Union of Nurses will organize regional demonstration in all the regions in the country.
The nurses pleading with the head of state to step in to end the suffering of Kenyans.
We have raised very genuine and very legitimate issues that are making the health workers to be outside. Why is it that the leadership of this country cannot see these issues that are affecting Kenyans.
The striking health workers lauding the move by KOTU and SUPKEM to support them until a proper return to work formula is signed.
We are now welcoming the move from the religious leaders to have the differences that are there between the national government and the county government settled so that we can have a way forward for this country.
We ask the SUPKEM to get in touch with KOTU and get in touch with the two levels of government and bring parties on the table.
The nurses questioning the sincerity of governors that their demands are impractical, yet the country is said to be losing billions of shillings daily due to corruption.
The largest amount of money in the county government and the national government is going to corruption. And the head of state has alluded to it himself.
In Mombasa, the nurses claim that they have had enough of boardroom meetings with no fruits and it was time to soldier on.
The Council of Governors withdraws all negative remarks and statements made to the detriment of the ongoing negotiations at the Ministry of Labour, and they immediately avail themselves for the meeting to unlock the stalemate.
With health workers across 37 counties continuing being on strike, the question now begs, who will bring to an end the stalemate between the Council of Governors and the health workers? Reporting for Channel 1 News from Nairobi County, I'm Ruth Wamboi.
A comprehensive report there by reporter Ruth Wamboi. Onto the political scene, where ODM leader Raila Odinga has accused Deputy President William Ruto for propagating class politics that might end up in whipping up emotions in the country. Raila says the Hustler movement's narrative has been well called to create a smokescreen for its sponsors to just gain political office but not to help Kenyans. The ODM leader warning that the challenges facing the youth in the country should be blamed on unfulfilled promises of the Jubilee government and cannot be solved through dishing out wheelbarrows.
ODM leader Raila Odinga on Thursday was in Nairobi's Westlands constituency in a popularization tour of the Building Bridges initiative, where he called on Kenyans to shun the politics of class being propagated by the Deputy President William Ruto.
Sisi zote ni wafanyikazi. Sisi zote tumetoka kukaa. Mimi Raila Odinga nimelala kamiti miaka 6. Nimeondolewa miaka 2.
Raila calling on Kenyans to back BBI as it offers sustainable solutions to challenges facing the nation.
Hii mambo ya BBI itaboresha hali ya maisha ya Wakenya kwa wote kwa jumla. Kwa sababu tumeleta mambo ya BBI. Wale wengine wanapiga domokaya. Domokaya ambayo haina chochote.
Watu wa Nairobi wanataka maendeleo. Watu wa Nairobi wanataka kazi. Na hiyo kazi inaletwa na BBI.
BBI inaleta mambo karibu na wananchi, pesa zinakucha masinani. Tunapeleka more money kwa counties, inamaanisha itafikia wananchi.
Hudumu ya maendeleo.
The opposition chief also hit at the Jubilee administration, saying it has failed to accomplish some of the promises, citing the 1 million jobs promised to the youth as some of the Jubilee's unfulfilled promises.
Baada ya ile kazi ya maana ambayo mnaahidiwa, sasa naambiwa ya kwamba wanataka kusaidia mama mboga, wanataka kuleta mkokoteni ati wilbaro. Hiyo ni nini? Hiyo wilbaro itatoa maskini kwa vijana. Itatoa maskini kwa vijana. Ukipewa wilbaro hapa Kangemi itafanya nini?
Zile signatures zenye zilikuwa collected zilikuwa zaidi ya milioni 5. Na hizo signatures zote ziko sawa.
IEBC in the meantime has called on those who signed in support of the document to verify their details. The commission says anyone captured as a supporter without the consent can report by writing to the acting commission secretary indicating their objections. Suleiman Yeri, Channel 1 News.
Just to remind you that at the top of the hour at 10 p.m. tonight, in not too long, we're going to be bringing you the live game between Congo Brazzaville and Niger. As our analyst here and my colleague Bernardo Kumu has told me that I have to say that Congo Brazzaville, and well, it's a river that separates them. Well, to keep it right here, we know that KBC is your true sports partner. Now let's cross over to the judiciary, where Acting Chief Justice Philomena Mwilu has warned judicial officers against delaying injustice, saying stern action will be taken against those who are found sabotaging the judicial process. The Acting Chief Justice said the judiciary officers should discharge their work effectively and facilitate the quest for justice without being influenced from any other quarters.
A tough-talking Acting Chief Justice Philomena Mwilu turned the heat on magistrates and other judicial staff who allegedly delay justice that they risk being sacked.
If the salary the judiciary pays us is not good enough, please walk away. And if you are chained and you don't know how to break those chains, ask JSC and they'll break the chains for you.
Speaking during the opening of the High Court and Environment and Land Court Registry at Kilgoris Law Courts in Transmara, West Narok County, Mwilu said actions by the judicial officers should be beyond reproach, and her office will not condone those found to be sabotaging the judicial process.
Those who work in this institution must be people who will facilitate the access to justice. And we are not going to resolve disputes by escaping work, by losing control of the court, by doing that which we know we should not do.
The opening of the Environment and Land Court Sub-Registry in the region is expected to boost the handling of land cases, which have been causing unnecessary tension among locals.
I'm going to undertake to secure some space so that a magistrate can report as soon as possible, so that the people of that area are able to get justice. The same thing to Emurwa District, already there is some land. I'm sure working with the Member of Parliament, Mheshimiwa, we can get some land so that we see the magistrate courts are there and work start. This is going to help so much our communities.
Area leaders called on the Acting Chief Justice to ensure that the courts are not being used by the police and the Office of Director of Public Prosecutions to settle political scores. With early pregnancies and child marriages cases rampant in Narok County, Narok Governor Samuel Tunai called on the Acting Chief Justice to post more judicial officers in the region to handle the cases.
In fact, I want to take this opportunity to challenge our members of parliament to go and make some legislation, because it appears so far maybe the punishment which is meted against some of these guys is not enough. Because why else are we saying numbers going up? Why are they increasing? To mean the punishment is not severe.
Ben Chumba, reporting for Channel 1 News.
On that note, we take a short break, but when we return, we're still going to be focusing on those stories that are making headlines. Do not go away. We'll be right back.
The Kenya Defence Forces KDF is pleased to announce to the public the recruitment of General Service Officer GSO cadets, General Service Officer GSO cadets, undergraduate degree holders, specialist officers, general duty recruits, tradesmen and women, and Defence Forces constables, which is scheduled to take place in the month of February 2021. Remember, no one can influence the recruitment process. KDF recruitment is absolutely free to all. For more information, tune in to Radio Taifa on the 29th of January 2021, just immediately after the 7 p.m. news. Check out the local dailies. The Standard newspaper on the 31st of January 2021. MyGov inside the Star newspaper on the 22nd of January 2021. And the People's Daily on the 26th of January and the 5th of February.
big footballing weekend on KBC Channel 1. Witness the skills and passion of Africa Cup of Nations tournament as Uganda battles it out with Togo this Friday from 10 p.m. And on Saturday from 7 p.m, catch Zambia versus Guinea live on your True Sports partner. We bring the weekend down on Sunday with exciting FA Cup 5th round matches beating Chelsea vs Luton Town from 3 p.m. Don't miss the big one as Manchester United renew their rivalry with Liverpool from 8 p.m. Catch all these games live and exclusive on KBC Channel 1.
Jumapili hii kwenye runinga ya KBC, ungana naye Askofu Michael Wanderi wa kanisa la Christian Foundation Fellowship Kiambu kuanzia saa 1 hadi saa 2 asubuhi.
Ningetaka nikwambie, our Jehovah God, because the Bible says he is the same yesterday, today and forevermore. He is able to take you to a place of abundance. He is able to take you to Rehoboth in the name of Jesus Christ.
Kipindi ni neno la neema, ukiletewa naye Askofu Michael Wanderi wa kanisa la Christian Foundation Fellowship Kiambu. Usikose.
My trust is in you.
Good evening. Glad you're still with us. You're watching Business Insight on KBC Channel 1 News. Now, Nairobi County is still leading in COVID-19 daily infections 311 days after the first case of the novel coronavirus was reported in the country. Of the 186 people who have tested positive in the last 24 hours, 95 are from the capital. Mombasa has 23 cases, Busia 17, Kiambu 10, while Isiolo and Kwale have 6 cases each. The latest numbers are from a sample size of 8,049, bringing the cumulative confirmed cases in the country to 99,630. So far, the country has tested 1,142,543 people. In the latest 24 hours, 3 patients have lost the fight to the disease, increasing the death toll to 1,739. The total recoveries now stand at 82,729 after 75 more patients recovered from the disease. Now, on to matters business is that the government says the locust invasion might be the worst in the next few weeks as large swarms from Ethiopia and Somalia have been spotted near Kenya. Agriculture Cabinet Secretary Peter Munya says locusts are currently in 15 counties in Kenya, which has prompted the government to start procuring chemicals since the current stock can only last for 2 months.
Last year, the government was able to control the first invasion of desert locusts that were reported in 21 counties. However, last month there was another desert locust invasion from Somalia that now the government says might spiral out of control as more swarms from Ethiopia and Somalia are likely to cross into Kenya in coming weeks. The swarms from Ethiopia and Somalia are being pushed into Kenya due to a change in the wind direction.
Because this invasion looks like bigger than the previous one, and it has happened also quite early. The other one took a few months before. This one, within a month, they are already here. The speed, the winds are faster. But the capacity, again, internally is also bigger.
Munya says Kenya has managed to contain 66 swarms out of the 70 swarms that have crossed into Kenya since last month.
75 swarms have been reported so far. And out of those, 66 swarms have been treated, reflecting a total area of 19,100 hectares.
Kenya has set 8 bases in Rift Valley, northern Kenya, and the coast to control the invasive pest.
We have deployed 9 surveillance and spray aircrafts, and 3 are also on standby because the invasion has not reached the level where we require those extra 3, but we have put them on standby.
The Ministry of Agriculture is in talks with development partners to fund procurement of additional chemicals for containing the desert locusts. Security agencies have been incorporated in helping contain the locust in some parts of the country. Benson Rioba reporting for Channel 1 Business.
Now, the Global Tourism Resilience and Crisis Management Center, the Kenyatta University, has been tasked with developing a tourism resilience index to help Kenya gauge her level of preparedness to maintain or resume operations during and after a crisis. Tourism Cabinet Secretary Najib Balala says such a measure will go a long way in ensuring Kenya's hospitality industry remains vibrant and competitive. Details of this and other stories in our business news roundup. COVID-19 disruptions have adversely affected the hospitality industry, marred by travel restrictions.
Again, diversifying marketing. For a long time, and particularly us in Africa, and not only Africa, even Europeans, they take their domestic tourists for granted. The local community who are there in those localities, they don't feel they benefit from tourism.
As the sector works towards recovery post-COVID, the Global Tourism Resilience and Crisis Management Center, in partnership with other tourism stakeholders, is developing a tourism resilience index that will help gauge Kenya's level of preparedness to maintain or resume operations during and after a crisis such as the COVID-19 pandemic.
This is a time for us to reflect and see how best we can bring on board the local communities, the local domestic market, to benefit from tourism.
And according to the African Development Bank East Africa Economic Outlook 2020, the East Africa region is projected to recover to 3.7% in the baseline scenario and 2.8% in the worst-case scenario, under the assumption that COVID-19 would be contained in the short to medium term.
What we had even suggested was we needed a very harmonized response to COVID, both in testing, both in application of different ways. But again, we saw different rates, particularly for testing COVID in different partner states. And that is likely to bring uneven, situations when you come to ease of doing business.
IEBC CEO Peter Mathuki further urged EAC partners to take advantage of the new USA government and approach it in bid to revive the negotiations and implementation of the East African US Trade Investment Partnership, which has stalled since 2016.
And especially when you see things like this pandemic happening and you realize that your long supply chains, primarily to China, can no longer continue to be the norm of the day. You have to make your own stuff locally or at least regionally.
Finally, a 1.4 billion shillings modern market is being constructed in Busia to facilitate small traders to do business in a decent place. The East African Community Principal Secretary, Dr. David Desai, backs the market that is being created on a 40-acre piece of land donated by the county government of Busia to increase cross-border trade tenfold once it is completed.
Together with the potential of value addition and the ability for them to create links across the country with respect to ensuring that they're able to trade more. The circular economy, the ability to connect and create links effectively through a trade hub into the arteries of our country and into the EAC.
The market is also expected to help traders formalize their ventures, thereby boosting revenue collections by the government. Given the location of the market at a busy border point, officials are backing the new facility to contribute to the economies of Kenya, Uganda, Burundi, Rwanda and DRC. Regina Manyara reporting for Channel 1 News. Now, to one of the reasons where indeed Kenya is an ideal tourist destination is that Lake Nakuru is a popular tourist site for those touring Nakuru. Boat riding, bird watching and game drives are among the activities on offer. Now, as Irene Mchuma Odim highlights on this edition of Magical Scenes.
Nakuru National Park is home to large flocks of birds, including migratory ones like flamingos. Boat riding in the one known wildlife destination is among the best known photos at Lake Nakuru National Park. Conference tourism in the county of Nakuru is complemented with such luxury activities, including boat riding and fishing. These are activities that encourages bonding in corporate families and even with friends.
For the rates of the lake, yes, those have to be paid because those are statutory standard fees. We have also organized with the lake that our clients will be given the best service.
The park's impressive array of wildlife has been built up since 1968 after its gazettement. In 1947, Rothschild giraffes were introduced to Lake Nakuru National Park, and with efforts to increase its rhino population, introduction of black and white rhinos was made from other parts of Kenya and South Africa. And in 1987, the park was declared a rhino sanctuary.
Also, you get to feel the African touch, because from where we start with our African, everything that we give is African, and we let you feel like Africa is where you belong.
Agricultural tourism, boat riding, and game drives are among activities on offer for those touring Lake Nakuru National Park. And after a game drive through the park, one would sample the town's tourism products before winding up their tour.
We give you a program of the things that you have to see in Nakuru town, whether it's the lake, whether it's the crater, whether it's the tea plantation, so we can guide your program depending on the sites you as a client really wants to visit. About our conferencing, we have a conference halls. We have 4 conference halls. One can hold up to 100 people.
Irene Mchuma Odim, Magical Sense in the county of Nakuru.
To the sporting arena, the National Olympic Committee of Kenya NOC has unveiled a 5-year sponsorship deal with the Kenya charity sweepstake worth 10 million shillings. Now, the funds will be used to prepare teams that will feature in this year's Tokyo Olympics and the 2024 Olympic Games.
As National Olympic Committee of Kenya NOC continues to prepare sportsmen and women for this year's Olympic Games, the committee has received financial boost to support teams that are preparing for the much coveted games after signing a 5-year contract with Kenya charity sweepstake. The deal worth 10 million shillings will see 10% of the gaming revenue go to NOC's account.
Our objective is and remains to ensure that all the resources that our partners are actually giving us will always go into the promotion of the sportsmen and the Olympic promotion of the Olympic movement and the spirit that we have.
Nothing more proud to see a national flag and the national anthem in international environment, and to see in the games that one of the athletes is a winner, a big winner. There is nothing more proud than that one. There is nothing more unifying than that one. And this is why we took that initiative that will bring Kenyans together as part of the Olympics game.
Meanwhile, 400 meters world under 18 championship silver medalist Mary Mora has said she targets to win a gold medal in the 800 meters race and hopes she'll be among the Kenyan athletes who will feature in this year's Olympics after shifting from 400 meters to 800 meters last year.
Target yangu ni kuqualify kwenda Olympic. What I promise the Kenyans watarajie mema kutoka kwetu, and I promise them nikiqualify kwenda Olympic tutarudi na medal kutoka huko Tokyo.
There are challenges of individual athletes who need to have good ranking, and those good ranking are not attained within a short period. They are attained over a long year plan. And what we've been able to do after we developed our strategic plan is to go out looking for partnerships, not short-term partnership, but long-term partnership.
So far, national women volleyball team Marquee Strikers and women rugby team Kenya Lionesses already qualified for the Olympic Games alongside boxers Nick Okoth and Christine Ongare. Frederick Moki for Channel 1 Sports.
Now, indeed, as we're coming to a close of a Business Insight tonight, remember, we pride ourselves as KBC Channel 1 as being your sports partner. Now, let's just have a small hook. Now, before we came on and started doing all matters of business and as well as what is happening in the political scenes, we were watching a match that ended in a draw 1-1. That is DR Congo versus Libya, 1-1. Now the next game at 10 p.m. is going to be Niger versus Congo Brazzaville. On the other side of studio is my colleague Bernard Okumu, gwiji wa michezo, unlike myself. So what do you think? Congo Brazzaville versus Niger. Do they stand a chance?
Asante sana Regina. Good question, Regina. Of course, after the second round match of this particular group, Democratic Republic of Congo drawing with Libya 1-1, which takes Democratic Republic of Congo to the top of the group with 4 points, while Niger, or rather Libya, is second on 2 points. Now this leaves Niger with 1 point, while Congo, who lost to DRC in their opening Group B match with 0 points. Now, what pans out here is that Niger have a better chance of progressing. That's if they manage to collect all the maximum points in this particular game, and they'll be playing against an opponent, Congo, who will be out for a win. Remember, these two teams have been in this particular tournament twice, and they've both never gone past the quarterfinal stage.
Yes. Thank you very much, and thank you for the correction there that indeed it was DR Congo and not just Congo. And if we go back to history, we can clearly say that that was, courtesy of the colonizing state then that decided that particular Congo can be divided by a river. Congo Brazzaville coming up next versus versus who? That has just escaped my mind there, but versus Niger there coming up not too long. Remember, this is a home of sporting action, and for further details in regard to those stories that have been making headlines, both matters of politics as well as business, you can find them on our website, that is www.kbc.co.ke. I've been your host, Regina Manyara. I leave you in the capable hands of our team of analysts led by my colleague there, that is Bernard Okumu, to take you through, this match that is eagerly anticipated, just to find out what this Pool B has to offer. Do not go away. We'll be right back with Sporting Action.
Good evening and a very warm welcome to Channel 1 Weather Updates. My name is Irene Mchuma Odem. Tonight, the whole country is covered with partly cloudy conditions, save for a few areas in Kisii and Migori. There are also showers over a few areas in northeastern parts of the country and also over the southeastern lowlands. This as the weatherman is warning of an increase of wet conditions across the country in the next 24 hours, which will also spread towards the day after tomorrow. And this will also be accompanied with strong southerly winds, which will affect most parts of the country, and thus will need to take precautionary measures. Tomorrow, there'll be rains in Wajir, Marsabit, Garissa, mainly over the northeastern parts of the country. The coastal strip will experience scattered wet conditions. The capital will experience showers in the afternoon, but during the morning hours, it will be sunny and then rains. But for you in Machakos, Nyeri, and Meru, there'll be rains during the morning hours. showers before giving way to sunny intervals. The Lake Basin region and western parts of the country will mainly be sunny, but there is a possibility of wet conditions, especially around Lake Victoria. That is in the county of Kisumu. In the afternoon, there'll be showers accompanied by thunderstorms in Kisumu, Kisii, Kericho, Narok, Kitale. Also, a few areas in the capital will experience showers during the afternoon hours, but for residents in Nyeri, Meru and Machakos, expect wet conditions to characterize the afternoon hours. The coastal strip will mainly be sunny with scattered wet conditions. The northeastern parts of the country will mainly experience sunny intervals, but a few areas in Wajir and Marsabit will experience showers during the afternoon hours. A totally different scenario for you over the northwestern parts of the country, where it will mainly be sunny. Let's cross over to temperatures, and this is it. The capital will experience highs of 27 and lows of 16 degrees Celsius. The highest across the country will be experienced in Mandera at 37 degrees Celsius. And for you in Kisumu, expect highs of 29 degrees Celsius. Let's now cross the borders and have a look at the international forecast. Good night. See you tomorrow, God willing.
Enda pale kwa palume. Wakenya. Kari ndio hii. Oh, sorry, kifungu ndio hii kari. Ni furaha ile niko nayo. Msijali Kate. Wacha tupeane mali ya wenyewe.
Ni vizuri tupe watu vitu zao.
Uchukue mali yako. Kuja uchukue mali yako. Hiyo ndio shamra.
Hiyo ndio shamra ya quick bid.
Umeona? Umeamini?
Nimeamini kabisa.
Hii inaitwa nini?
Hii inaitwa kifungu.
Na hii inaitwa nini?
Toyota Probo.
Toyota Probo. Mpatie kifungu hiyo.
Shika ingine. Ndio ya kuendesha.
Onesha.
Na wewe unaitwa nani?
Naitwa Steven.
Steven nani?
Kahuho.
Nakwambia. Uliwekelea bid ya ngapi brother?
1772 peke yake.
We. Na ndio amejishindia Pro Box. Sasa hii Pro Box inakusaidia aje?
Itakuwa inanisaidia kazi yangu ya kuuza matunda.
Unaambia je watu wako nyumbani ambao watakuona na hii?
Wote wacheze na quick bid. Ukweli.
Ni ukweli.
Kabisa.
Sasa tufanyie vizuri. Ingia upate mizigo yako bana. Ingia utoshee ukae usikie. Inakutosha sawa? Sisi tulikwambia ni aje? Bidhaa bora kwenye bei ya chini. Bidhaa bora kwenye bei ya chini.
Jiunga na Quick Bid ni rahisi. Enda kwenye M-Pesa, bonyeza paybill kisha weka business number 4032353. Kwenye account weka kodi ya bidhaa unayotaka na bid yako ya chini zaidi. Kwa mfano TV 16. Kisha weka shilingi 20 tu kama idadi yako. Weka bid yako pia kwenye www.quickbid.co.ke. Kumbuka, bid ya chini zaidi ya kipekee ndio hununua. Quick Bid, bidhaa bora kwa bei ya chini.
Vera Beauty College. Vera Beauty and Fashion College with branches in Nairobi, Eldoret, Thika and Meru. Did you know that we are a TVET approved institution? We offer courses in fashion design, interior design in soft furnishing, event decoration, flower arrangement, event planning, hairdressing, barbering and dreadlocks, beauty therapy, makeup, nail technology, spa massages, teaching skills, TOT, solo business management, and many more. Register now and visit our website on www.verabeautycollege.com. You can also call on 0725-923-550 Nairobi branch, 0728-087-689 Eldoret branch, 0722-227428 Thika branch, 0725 000-706 Meru branch. Vera Beauty and Fashion College, a TVET approved institution.
A big footballing weekend on KBC Channel 1. Witness the skills and passion of Africa Cup of Nations tournament as Uganda battles it out with Togo this Friday from 10 p.m. And on Saturday from 7 p.m, catch Zambia versus Guinea live on your True Sports partner. We bring the weekend down on Sunday with exciting FA Cup 5th round matches beating Chelsea versus Luton Town from 3 p.m. Don't miss the big one as Manchester United renew their rivalry with Liverpool from 8 p.m. Catch all these games live and exclusive on KBC Channel 1.
A very good evening and welcome to match day 2 of Group B action of the ongoing African Nations Championship in Douala, Cameroon, and that's where the Group B action is centered. The first match, of course, Democratic Republic of Congo drawing with Libya 1-1 and just in a way blowing open the group, which means that the forthcoming match will be interesting and we'll be delving into the intricacies that surround that particular